Moving on to Chapter 2, where we discuss AI-specific quality characteristics and safety. ISO/IEC 25059 extends the quality model from ISO/IEC 25010 to address AI-specific considerations. This extension evaluates AI-based systems from two perspectives: product quality and quality in use. From a testing perspective, these quality characteristics directly influence how test objectives are defined, how acceptance criteria are formulated, and how test results are interpreted for AI-based systems. New and modified characteristics, compared to ISO/IEC 25010, include AI functional correctness, product quality. AI-based systems, especially those using probabilistic ML, cannot guarantee perfect accuracy. Since a certain error rate is expected in AI outputs, the concept of functional correctness has been adjusted accordingly. ISO/IEC 25010 evaluates functional correctness by considering both correct and incorrect outputs, and by defining acceptable thresholds for incorrect results, reflecting the inherent variability in AI-based system outputs. See 3.3. Functional adaptability, product quality, a new subcharacteristic of functional suitability. The ability of the AI-based system to autonomously adapt to changes in its operational environment after it is deployed. User controllability, product quality, a new subcharacteristic of interaction capability. Note that interaction capability is itself a new term that replaces usability in the 2023 version of ISO/IEC 25010. A property of an AI-based system such that a human or another external agent can intervene in its functioning in a timely manner. Transparency, product quality, and quality in use. It relates to the degree to which appropriate information about the AI-based system is communicated to stakeholders. AI robustness, product quality, a new subcharacteristic of reliability. It describes the ability of an AI-based system to maintain its level of AI functional correctness regardless of circumstances, such as the presence of biased, adversarial, or invalid data inputs, external interference, adverse environmental conditions, and operator misuse. Intervenability, product quality, a new subcharacteristic of security. The degree to which an operator can intervene in an AI-based system's functioning in a timely manner to prevent harm or hazard. Societal and ethical risk mitigation, quality in use, a new subcharacteristic of freedom from risk. Considers many areas to mitigate societal and ethical risk, including accountability, fairness and non-discrimination, professional responsibility, promotion of human values, privacy, safety and security, human control of technology, community involvement and development, human-centered design, respect for the rule of law, respect for international norms of behavior, environmental sustainability, and labor practices. Safety-related systems have the potential to cause injury or harm to people, property, or the environment. Developing and testing non-AI safety-related systems can take a lot of effort, but is feasible. However, for AI-based systems, there are several additional challenges. Specifications. In traditional safety-related systems, requirements are defined for the complete system and refined until the developer can transform them into code. The requirements for many AI-based systems often begin with vague goals and are then implicitly provided via the training data that encodes patterns, rules, and objectives without fully formalizing every detail up front. This can mean that the necessary traceability from requirements to implementation is inadequate for AI-based systems. Non-determinism. This characteristic of many AI-based systems makes it inherently challenging to guarantee the precise behavior of these systems. Even rigorously tested models can exhibit unexpected behavior due to factors such as random number generation or slight variations in input values. Self-learning. Rigorous testing is used to demonstrate the safety integrity of a system before deployment. For self-learning AI-based systems, this is undermined as the system's behavior progressively moves away from the originally tested behavior. Managing how the model learns and the data it uses can sometimes help to avoid the emergence of new problematic behaviors. Alternatively, safety guards can be implemented to help prevent the model from learning or making decisions that could compromise safety. For example, a content moderation component to filter prompts. Explainability and transparency. For safety-related systems, it is essential to understand how and why the system makes decisions. However, the decision-making processes of AI-based systems are often not transparent. Explainable AI techniques, such as LIME, local interpretable model-agnostic explanations, can provide insights into the AI-based system's reasoning. However, they are not widely available and may compromise system performance. Evolving regulations. The regulatory landscape for safety-related AI-based systems is constantly evolving. The use of AI is currently not included in mature functional safety international standards, and some of these standards even prohibit its use in such systems.
The EU AI Act, C 1.1.8, classifies AI systems used as safety components, such as in aviation, medical devices, or automotive, as high risk and imposes strict requirements on their development and testing. When evaluating the quality of an AI-based system, it is essential to consider both functional and non-functional quality characteristics. This helps confirm that the AI-based system functions as intended and satisfies broader quality requirements. The ISO IEC 25010 and ISO IEC 25059 standards provide a comprehensive framework for defining software quality. In this section, the focus is on the acceptance criteria associated with the quality characteristics specific to AI and safety. The following table lists example acceptance criteria for safety and each of the quality characteristics defined in the ISO IEC 25059 standard. AI functional correctness. Accuracy of 95% for an image recognition system. Recall of 90% for a defect prediction system. Functional adaptability. A maximum of 20 seconds for the engine management system to adapt when it crosses a specified altitude threshold. A video streaming service shall adjust its homepage to recommend at least 40% of documentaries after a user watches 3 full-length documentaries in a single session. User controllability. A supervisor can take control of an autonomous drone within 0.5 of a second when it sends a distress signal due to loss of its GPS location. The farm control system notifies the farmer when the sensor's visual performance degrades by more than 30%, allowing immediate manual override. It fully deactivates if degradation exceeds 50% without user response. Transparency. Sufficient information is provided about the third-party ML model and the provenance of its training data to meet the requirements of the relevant company standard. The system's operational dashboard and API must provide an endpoint that returns the unique version identifier of the currently deployed prediction model and a link to its corresponding documentation. AI robustness. The response time for the AI-based security penetration alert system predictions remains below 1 second when access to the central vulnerabilities database is disrupted for 30 seconds. The Edge AI device shall automatically transition to a lower fidelity, reduced power inference mode when its internal operating temperature exceeds 85 degrees Celsius for a continuous period of 10 seconds. Intervenability. If a robot breaches its safety zone, the production line is capable of being shut down within 0.5 seconds after a shutdown is initiated. To prevent potential blackouts, the power grid management system shall provide a 30-second confirmation window, during which an engineer can veto any AI proposed action classified as critical before it is automatically executed. Societal and ethical risk mitigation. The automated prison sentencing system does not discriminate between racial groups based on the specified fairness metric. The chatbot must pass an internal red teaming assessment with a score of 95% or higher, demonstrating its refusal to generate content that promotes violence, self-harm, or hate speech. Safety. Non-AI components of the AI-based steering control system are compliant with ISO 26262-6 at ASIL, Automotive Safety Integrity Level, C. 100% of the relationships between inputs and outputs of the ML model in the nuclear power plant control system can be mapped with an average accuracy of no lower than 99.9% by an explainability tool. Control signals that exceed specified safety limits by more than 10% are analyzed and regulated within 0.15 seconds after being detected by the safety monitoring subsystem.